Hello viewers, Flash Motorsport here and welcome back to Maple Valley. Now in this video we're going to test out whether it was easier to have hard tyres for the endurance of the race, or would it be better to have medium tyres and suffer it out. If you remember last video, the tyres were pretty much dead at the end of the race when I had medium tyres on for the endurance of the race. So this time I'm going to go hard tyres. I'm going to look at the finishing lap times as well as my finishing position overall in the race. Yes, there's going to be different factors in it of different racing cars and things like that, but is it better to do this track on the hard tyres when it's a short race than it is on the medium tyres, or are you better to suffer on the last lap on the medium tyres? So we've had a good start to the race. We're in P4 right now following N. Wilton. The idea here is to follow N. Wilton or whoever's in front of me and try and keep a position until the last lap of the race and then make my move. Don't go off track and get a 0.1 second penalty like I just did. This is what happens when you follow someone. Great start to the race, I guess. But like I say, it's the idea is they are setting the pace. I'm going to do my best to try and keep up with them. Rather be behind someone and trying to keep up with them on the less good quality equipment than I am trying to battle and keep away from someone and make silly mistakes. But last lap is going to be where I make my move. So as we come up through this bit here, see they are a bit quicker than me. I'm going to let off a bit early, go down the brakes and slow down a bit more. Come into this bridge, let off the throttle, let it coast round. Holding forever gave me a nice little tip around it. As we come round the chicane, keep over to your left hand side a bit more. And then I can go straight and true through the next couple of corners, as you can see now. Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much, buddy. That is much appreciated. There's little tips like that that I need help with sometimes, just to eke those few temps out and be a bit more consistent. So thank you very much again, buddy, for that one. As we come over to the start and finish line, N. Wilton is not as going as quick as I am, so I back off and go in behind them. They brake, I brake, and I nearly go into the back of him. Whoop, that was close. That was too close. Obviously, I've got to remember that I'm on hard tyres and I can't brake as efficiently as they can. So I've got to be mindful of that one. But like I say, no harm, no foul, nothing was done, and I'm trying to keep up with them. BCFC skid mark is much quicker than a Peugeot behind. I'll let them take that position. I'm not going to fight overly aggressively for something that I can capitalise on in 2 or 3 more laps time. I'd rather try and keep up with a bit of pace. But BCFC is quite quick and is battling their way through. I've lost way too much time over what I wanted to lose. So now I've got to try and play catch up on tyres that aren't in my favour here. So let's enjoy it, shall we? As we come up here, we come flat out under the bridge, tuck to your left hand side, keep your foot right down because the camera road pushes you into the tarmac and you get a good run up. Let off as you come around this corner so you don't understeer. Come under this bridge, let off again so you don't understeer into the wall, and power back on. After you've gone down a gear, try and get the revs back up again. Come over to your left hand side here. I don't take it as well as I should have, and I'll come over the grass a little bit. But looking up, I'll cut the corner and I'm straight on the next corner. Come down this hill and keep flat out as you come down here. Come over to your right hand side, just clip that curb on your right hand side and keep your foot right through it and come down the hill over the start finish line. Looking out to your left hand side, as soon as the curb starts, braking down to 4th gear and let the car coast round. Just dab the brakes every now and again just to keep that front end down, and then accelerate as the pit entrance opens up. You can use the pit entrance if you want to try and maximise a bit more track width. Move to your right hand side, brake, and then rub the inner curb. Now from here on in, you can keep your foot right down and really try and capitalise on the cars in front of you. So get into a bit of slipstream behind them and try and get sucked back in. These few attempts whilst in slipstream are quite crucial, especially on these fast parts of the track. As soon as we cross over the bridge, the wall on the left hand side stops being black, braking down to 4th gear and let the car coast round. Powering on down the hill, you get the white board on the right hand side, there it is, braking down to 3rd gear. Let the car coast round. As soon as you're halfway around, power back on a little bit and then come up the hill out the other side and again keep your foot right down. As you can see, my tyres are not wearing a good bit because I am struggling really hard to try and keep up with this lot. But we have a good gap from the cars behind. I do have that penalty still, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. So if I do overtake someone, I've got to make sure I'm 0.1 second ahead of them to keep my position. But again, we come through here, keep over your left hand side, and then come to the right and like Holden said, straight and true. Coming down the hill, you can see the Peugeot is coming down pretty hot, sliding a bit, and got to be mindful of the slipstream here. If you remember the last video with the Astra going into the wall, I do not want that effect. I don't think the slipstream handling effect affects the MG as much, but it does affect the brakes, as you can see again. Oh dear me. Oh, that was close. That was close. I bet that if they got a rear view mirror, they're just looking at that. Ah, not again. Twice I've done that now. Oh, this must not like me behind them. Skipping ahead to the start of the final lap. As you can see, I'm still behind N. Wilton, and we're going to try and gain a position. Now, the tyres are not worn enough yet to set off the warning marker, but they're definitely on the edge of it. And I'm hoping the car in front is also either on medium tyres and the dead, or on more worn, harder tyres than I am. It's quite hard to tyre save, especially when you're trying to keep up with someone. But as we're coming through here, we're coming flat out, and they seem to be having grip more than I would like, I'll have to be honest. I do wonder if this person was on the other person on hard tyres as well. I couldn't remember. But never mind, we come over the bridge, break the wall on the left hand side, stops, braking down to third gear. Let's try and keep it behind, keep the revs up, have a bit of power, powering on. And this is where we're going to make our move. Wilton goes in a bit too warm, and I go through the inside. Wilton does touch me on the inside of the corner as the car came back in, but I was already there and I powered on. So that's the position gain on the last lap. A pretty clean undertaking if I might add myself. And we are now on podium, which is great. And Wilton is just 1 second behind me. Now, Wilton did message me after this race, thanking me for the good race, and it was nice and clean racing. I also asked them about if they had a rear view mirror and if they were sweating when we plowed up behind them. And they replied by saying, I think I spent just as much time looking in my rear view mirror to see where you were than I actually did on the track. But it was a good choice to go on hard tyres, as my tyres were shot on the last lap and I couldn't fight anymore. So they were definitely on medium tyres, and this is message just coming as I'm recording this video now. So let's have a look. We ended the race with an 8-minute 20.971 second overall race, and on the medium tyres we did an 8:21.267. So seconds, a few temps saving. Make of that as what you will. It's hard to tell whether it was worth it or not. Even, you know, over the whole race, it was 3 temps in it, but at least so we survived. That's the main thing. On to the next race. We're at Yas Marina night again. So we did qualify. We qualified in pre-3 position. So let's make this work. So we'll just start on the start and finish line, coming down, call to the right hand side, looking out for the 100 board, braking, and let the car come round in third gear. Powering back on, trying to keep the position behind Marky 2909. Move left hand side, keep your power on, then once you come over to the right, let off, let the car coast around. You can rub along this curb, that's fine, braking down to second gear. Come over to the left, accelerate down the hill. As soon as you come over the curb here, braking down to second gear again, and as soon as you turn this left, powering back on and out the other side. As you come down this back straight, keep your foot down, keep moving the right hand side, and you want to look out for the 100 marker. As soon as we come up 200, 150, just before the 100 marker, braking down to second gear and clip this in the curb and powering on. Now if you did this right, you could do it in one full swoop, go into third gear and go over the curb again, and basically maximizing all the curbs of the track and maximizing that track limit. Come over the start and finish line, looking on your right hand side for the 100 board again, and braking down to third gear, come over the inner curb on the left hand side and powering back on. You can come quite far out wide on the exit of that corner. Just be mindful of the curb, it can unbalance the car quite a bit. But coming through here, coming in a little bit hot, the car's unbalanced, but braking down to second gear, over the other side, and like I say, you do wheel spin through here, but that's fine, but braking down to second gear and accelerate out again. As we come down the back straight again, trying to catch up to the car in front, so we are within a bit of tow, but they're 1 second away, and a P1 is 2.5 seconds away. They do have a penalty, but they are gaining from us. They did have a very good qualifying time compared to what we did, so I think overall they're going to be much faster than we are. But my main competition is going to be Marquee 2909 in front, and I want to try and gain back on that time and get back into that slipstream for that back straight and add a bit of pressure on. Braking at the 100 board, third gear, over the left hand curb and powering back on out the other side. That was a much better exit and entry of that corner there, over here like that, and then let the car coast round again. Again, I'm coming in a little bit too hot, but it's not a problem. I am overdriving the car a little bit here. The issue with that is it's going to affect my tyre wear later down the line, and I should have been mindful of that. But as you see later on, yeah, it didn't enter my mind at this precise moment. As we skip to the start of lap 7, you see my tyres are now worn. The yellow marker is on them. The car in front is 1.6 seconds away and P1 is 6 seconds away. So we haven't gained in on, and we haven't really massively lost, but now my tyres are starting to show their age. But luckily enough, a Charlie Brown V8 is 5 seconds away. So long as I can keep them at bay, I've got my position down to a solid. It'd be even better if Marquee 2909 makes a mistake and gets a penalty, then I might be able to capitalise on that as well. But the chances of that are very slim. We've all been very competitive in this race. It's been absolutely brilliant. Let's come down the back straight again. Now they're 2 seconds away. You can see the wear on these tyres are really showing now. I'm struggling to keep up quite a lot. When I'm braking just for the 100 board, I'm just about overshooting it a little bit. And I can't accelerate through this curve like I would like to. It's just slipping all the way through. But as we start our last lap, this is where the tyre wear really starts showing now. They're both on moderate tyre wear, and it is quite painful to watch. Braking at the 100 board over the curb, I'm really slowing right down here. I can't get the car to rotate the way I want it to. The drop off from normal tyres to minor to moderate is huge. On moderate wear, your tyres have really gone. I don't know if the drop off is realistic. It just feels, it goes in stages. You know, you have good grip, then suddenly you have a little bit less grip, and suddenly you have no grip, and it's a drop off should be gradual rather than next step. So I don't know, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Now P4 has changed a position. It's a FIFA Master R94. They are gaining on me, but they do have a 2.3 second penalty, and we're just about to cross that finish line, provided we make this next corner. As you see, I'm really turning this guy, it's just not wanting to go. But we are only 4 seconds behind P3. The fireworks are lit, and we are across that line on the podium finish. Happy days. Now we're at Grand Oak. We haven't done Grand Oak in a little while. I quite enjoy this track, I'm not going to lie. We did qualify. I didn't set the best of qualifying laps, but we start in P5 position. I keep up on the inside here to try and keep the inside line and defend this corner from everybody else beating me around. But as we come up to the next corner, I get beaten around a little bit more than I would like. Thus, the Audi beside me has gone off track, and lucky enough I managed to keep the car straight. We do lose position to the Audi on my left hand side, but it's only one position, and as long as we don't make too much of a gap from the cars in front, we might be able to hold ourselves our own here. I did pick medium tyres for this track due to the high-speed cornering, high-speed nature of the cornering. I thought medium tyres might be a better choice. It's very hard, even on this track, to choose whether medium or hard is the optimal choice. Usually when you get to about the last lap, if you are hammering the car, they're pretty well worn. So again, it is quite a hard choice to make which one's better overall. But we do gain a position back from P5, Goose and Go, and I try and catch up to the cars in front. They're 0.6 seconds ahead. I don't take this corner the best, and they gain that position back off me. As we're braking down the 4th gear, rub that in the curb and power back on. If you see the bridge in front of us on our left hand side, as soon as you get under that, hit braking down to 3rd gear, rub that in at apex and power on again. Brake down to 2nd gear. As soon as the tyres come on the left hand side, power on again, up to 3rd gear, and then braking, clip the right hand curb and power on again and some more. As soon as you start the curb, dab the brakes, bring it back down to about 75 miles per hour, blue hook on the left hand side, and start accelerating. And pretty much flat out back over the start and finish line. Now this is the part of the track where you make or break with slipstream. It is massively efficient through here. It's quite a long straight, And you can see I'm already gaining on the cars in front through the change of gear ratio and everything. I'm 0.9 seconds away. So as long as I can try and keep up with them, I'm in quite a good run in for the end of the race. As we come over here, braking under 4th gear, accelerate. And again, as soon as you come under the bridge on the left hand side, braking down to 3rd gear, clip that right hand curb and accelerate some more. Then you brake down to 2nd gear and let the car go round. As soon as the tyre wall's down your left hand side, accelerating again, powering on, and then braking again down to 3rd gear. Let the car coast round, accelerate up, and then as soon as you start turning again, braking down to about 75-80 miles per hour. As soon as you see the blue hut, power on out the other side. You will understeer out to the outer curb. If you put the power on gently, you won't understeer as much as you would do if you just plant it back down. And again over the other side of the start and finish line. Skipping ahead to the start of lap 7, you can see my tyres are very well worn. I have been giving them a very hard time, and it's sort of biting me back in the backside right now. The cars in front, I think they're even hard tyres, or they've tyre saved much better than I have. But we do have quite a large gap from the car behind me, 6.3 seconds away, whilst they also have a 4.3 second penalty, which is absolutely amazing. But we are keeping up with P2 and P3, and I was hoping to try and make a move on them, but they're just kept away just enough that I can't seem to catch them back up in the tow. No harm, no foul. We are in a good strong position for the end of this race. Now my front offside tyre has gone into moderate tyre wear. This next lap is going to be absolutely torture. It's going to be quite hard to try and keep up to my position. But looking at this fast straight bit, we have no worry about the tyre wear. It's just the braking points and the hard cornering. As we cross over the start and finish line, we're going to have some good fun on this next lap with these tyres as healthy as they are. Braking down to 5th gear, let the car coast round and come up here. As soon as the line starts being shagged like that, braking down to 4th gear and looking out for your left hand side for the bridge again. You have to brake a little bit early because your tyres are worn. Braking down to 3rd gear, let the car coast round, up the hill, accelerate, and then braking down to 2nd gear. Looking out for the tyres on the left hand side, then you can accelerate out of the corner, keep to your left, and then brake some more down to 3rd gear, let the car coast round best as you can, and then accelerate. Going a bit slower than I usually would, down about 70 miles per hour, accelerating as soon as you pass the blue hut and down over the start and finish line. So we finish in a P4 position. We gain 1 position from the qualifying lap I had. Overall a very good competitive race, and my tyres are absolutely dead. Thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.